I've uploaded tons of videos about the coolest animals from every corner of the world. So I've decided to take my favorite videos and turn it into another massive movie compilation. Ant colonies, axolotls, and even insane creatures you've never seen before, it's all in this video. So sit back and get some popcorn or something, because this is going to be a fire movie. This is a bloodworm, and it is the creepiest, most disgusting creature ever. It even has 4 venomous fangs in each corner of its mouth that you definitely don't want to get bit by. Now, I'm known for keeping the weirdest pets, so of course I found a website that sells them as a live bait for fishing.
Yeah, literally nobody buys these as pets. I think I'm literally going to be the first person in the world, which means I'm going to get to show off the crazy unseen abilities of these things. Alright, let's just check this thing out.
And after a couple of days, a truck dropped off the package at my house, so I could finally check them out.
Here we go, bloodworms. Even as an animal expert, I am like pretty spooked about these. But anyways, let's just check them out.
Underneath all the packing material were the bloodworms. So using some tweezers, I carefully removed one to take a closer look. And yup, this is a bloodworm. You can see that they are absolutely disgusting looking, and their mouth is even able to extend out of their body like an alien. But at the end of this part that expands are their venomous fangs, which they use to latch onto stuff like shrimp in the ocean, which I'll be showing off very soon. Now, one thing though, I actually bought 12 of these bloodworms that I'm gonna have to keep all in the same aquarium, so yeah, this is gonna be a nightmare. Now for the build, I'm gonna put in some aqua soil and a dirt mix. Eventually, we're gonna completely fill it with water because that's how bloodworms live in the wild, but for now, I just put a tiny bit of water in to keep the dirt nice and moisty.
I've already run into the first problem because I don't think I'm supposed to add the water straight to the dirt. It kind of made a weird consistency. And the water is just straight up black.
So yeah, I drained the water, scooped out the dirt, and I washed it off in the sink. Then I put the soil back in, covered it in a thin layer of sand, and added the water back. As you can see now, the water stays fantastically clear. Nice. This mound here in the middle will be where I build all the decorations, and I'll even be putting in some red plants, and then finally filling it all up with water. First of all, let's get some pieces of wood in here. And I thought this design of multiple of these burnt looking ones coming from the middle looked pretty nice. I didn't want them sticking out the top though, so I broke off all those extra pieces and planted them in the sand below to give the whole wood structure a more fuller look. Now it's time for the rocks, and you may think these are just called river rocks, but in fact that is not true. This one on the left is actually called an elderly boulder, and this one on the right is called a black venom boulder. Now those are some cool names. Just wanted to say thank you to whoever named them.
But the best rock I have is this. It's actually not rock at all. It's actually wood. Yeah, just like what I already got you.
Yeah, it's called petrified wood. And basically millions of years ago, it was buried under the earth and turned into a rock over time.
Before this wood rock back here, I've actually got a pretty cool plan. As you can see, I've got a little can of sardines, which you basically just open by pulling it. Okay, it broke off. Okay, attempt 2. Basically, you just open it like this, and inside there's some like dead fish they eat.
Now with the sardines, I actually went and put one of them under this petrified wood. I'm doing this because I want to test to see if the bloodworms have a smell ability and whether they'll be able to find the sardine under it, dig it out, and eat it. Yeah, that should be pretty fun to watch. Anyways, now I want to get some red aquatic plants in here. So I drove to Petco so I could buy some.
Alright, I'm at Petco and I'm hoping they got some red plants in stock today.
Oh, bro, there's not a single red plant in stock. I swear they usually got them, but I guess not today.
Instead, I had to drive home and go buy some online. Thankfully, though, there was a ton of websites with some nice reddish plants on them, so I went and added a bunch of them to my cart.
It's gonna be pretty expensive, but hey, I say it's worth it for these red plants, baby. Check out.
Since I bought the one-day delivery, the next day I got the package with all of the red plants inside, so I took them all out and started to put them around random parts in the sand. Now, a few of the plants they gave me weren't actually red, they were very green, but it's okay because I was starting to like the look of how it was all coming together. I also ended up getting these red ruby crystals that I scattered along the floor of the enclosure to add a bit more red in here to match that bloodworm color, of course. But as you can probably tell, I've been keeping the 2 sides of this enclosure completely empty. And that's because I want to build some custom DIY builds on both sides that the 12 bloodworms will be able to interact with. First of all, on the right side, I'm going to make a little cave they can all hide in. Now, in an old video, I learned this cool trick where you get out a basket, cut a hole in the front, and cover it in rocks to make your very own cave. So I'm going to do it again, but this time with 3 different baskets to make a triple decker cave. So I went and cut the front of the baskets off to be the entrance. sanded them down a bit so it wasn't as sharp, and I covered the baskets in a ton of spray foam, because let's be real, it wouldn't be a Tara Green video without it. And then I started to carve it out to make it look like the spray foam was the actual rocks of the cave. Anyways, here is the finished triple-decker cave. Looks good, right? Right?
Let's just get this thing in there just like that. May not be the prettiest.
In today's video, we're gonna watch a guy that completely transformed his axolotls enclosure. It looked like this.